Hey guys, welcome to the Holby Homestead. So today I'm heading down to the garden. I'm gonna harvest some stuff. Got some beans to harvest and some Swiss chard and kale. And after we harvest that, that's gonna be our dinner. After we harvest that though, I got a couple of recipes to show you. So here we go. So first I'm gonna cut this kale. So now I'm gonna get some beans here. Try and do this with one hand. Now I'm gonna go get some Swiss chard. I love this time of year, although it's a bit overwhelming when everything's all ready at once. Now the last thing I'm gonna harvest is I'm gonna collect a couple good pieces of mint for the next recipe that I'm gonna show you. I knew this mint would come in handy one day. Not that I'll ever be able to use it all. Now I got my big basket of stuff here. I'm going to, I just felt a raindrop. I'm going to head in the house here and clean up this stuff, and then we're gonna do our recipes. There we go. Hey guys, so I'm gonna show you a really cool recipe that I found out about a few years ago. And we've been using it over the years, and I just want to share it with you. It's really simple, it's really good, and it's really healthy for you. So this is called the Haymakers Punch. So it's back in the day when, you know, the guys would be working out in the field, you know, this is what they would drink. And it's kind of the energy drink before there was energy drinkers or a sports drink or whatever. So I'm going to be making these in mason jars. So what you'll need, I'm going to make up 2 jars. So if you just want to make 1 jar to try it, what you need is 1 lemon sliced. So I've got these sliced up. And you need some ginger and some apple cider vinegar. And either maple syrup or honey, and I'll explain why I have both out. So this recipe is pretty versatile. You can add more of something, you can not add something. It's really to taste, but I'm just going to show you kind of a generic version of it. So these are 1 liter mason jars. And it's filled almost to the top with water. I mean, leave a little bit of room. And so first I'm going to start off with squeezing a whole lemon into this. So and when you're doing this, save the peels, because I'll show you why in my next recipe. So again, this is something that if you want to add more lemon, you can, or less lemon, you know, make it to taste. So the next thing is I'm going to add ginger. So I don't know how you measure how much ginger you add, but I just take like a little nug off of the ginger that's like about this long, and if you know how ginger's processed, you'll know what I mean by a little nug. and I've kind of finely chopped it up, sliced it up, whatever. So we're just gonna put that right in. Right in your jar like that. The next thing is, now this is something I'm gonna do a little bit differently, but the recipe calls for 1/3 of a cup of apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is really good for you. It'll give you some energy, but me personally, I find it a bit hard on my guts and a bit strong. So instead of a third, I'm gonna only put in 1/4 of a cup. And I should have prepared this before I started filming, because it's got the tab in it. There we go. Oh, geez. Okay, lesson learned. Okay, and I just poured it on my table. That's nice. I'm a real mess in the kitchen, like really. There we go. Made a real royal mess of myself here. Anyways. Okay, so the next thing is you're going to want to sweeten this. So you can either use maple syrup or you can use honey. It's up to you. It's your choice. You can try either one and see which one you like. I think for this jar I'm going to use maple syrup, but the next jar I think I'm going to use honey. So you don't want too much, you want 1/4 cup again. There we go, poured that in. Better put the lid on that or else I'm going to send that flying probably. And finally, again, this is optional. This is something I'm trying because, as you know, we have a surplus of mint going on. So you could add mint leaves into this, or not add anything at all, but I'm just giving suggestions. So mint leaves, basil leaves, and you know, this is something you can really experiment with taste. So I am just going to put probably 2 mint leaves in that because this mint is pretty strong. Okay, put the lid on, give it a good shake. So I'm gonna put this in the fridge, and you really don't want to drink it like unless it sits for like a night or something. It definitely gets better with age. I mean, obviously don't leave it for 6 months, but you know, if you're working hard in the garden, you know, doing a big sweaty job, prepare this the night before and stick it in your fridge, and it'll be a really nice drink to have afterwards. So this next little recipe, I've actually been working on it for a couple weeks. It does take time. So the reason that I suggested that you save the peels is because you can make a cleaning solution. And so what I did was I took a mason jar and I filled it with vinegar, like just white vinegar. And every time I had an orange or a lemon or a lime, I threw the peels into it and kept it sealed up, made sure they were all soaked up, and left this in a dark place for a couple weeks. And once it's full, which this one is full, I'm actually going to use these lemons for my next batch, so nothing will go to waste here. So once it's full, now the problem with vinegar is that it kind of seals the lids closed, so you kind of got to watch that. It'll rust the lid too. So I wish you could smell that. It smells wonderful. Unfortunately, because we just moved 3 months ago, I don't know where my funnel is. That's the joys of packing and unpacking. So I think I'm gonna try this without a funnel, and I'll probably make a mess and it'll be hilarious. So I've got a squirt bottle here. So I would suggest, if you had the right supplies, which I don't, strain the orange peels out, and then pour the liquid into a bottle, and then that way you're not getting any of the orange peels in your bottle. So I'm gonna strain these first. I'm gonna go do that in the kitchen, and then we'll come back. So I didn't find a funnel, but I did find the next best thing. So I'm going to try and hold the camera and do this. This is probably a really terrible idea. So now we're left with this, and it smells wonderful. Okay, so again, I suggest using a funnel. If I find mine, I'll let you guys know. Anyways, we're gonna pour this into the squirt bottle that I picked up at the dollar store, and still got the price tag on it. And yeah, so we'll try this. I don't know how successful I'm gonna be doing this without a funnel. There we go. Didn't even spill a drop. Who needs a funnel, right? So there we go. We got an excellent cleaner now. So use this on your floors, on your walls, pet messes if you have pets. I'm a huge fan of actually using vinegar for pet messes, just because it really helps with covering up the smell. This stuff smells really good. I've heard, I don't know if it's true or not, but I've heard that it's actually somewhat of a bug repellent. So if you have like spiders in your house or ants in your house, the citrus will definitely drive them away. So that's a cleaning solution. I'm going to put these lemons in another jar and start another batch. And in a couple weeks, we'll have another batch. So that's my recipe. Okay, so I've drained the water in the sink, and I'm gonna start laying these out on paper towel to dry. There is so much here. I think we're going to be eating salads for a few days, which is fine. It's good for you. And Dave actually loves salads. He'll eat salad over anything, really. And some of this stuff, like the Swiss chard, is really good fried up. There's so many different ways you can actually cook with Swiss chard. It's not just a salad. It's got a really strong taste, and isn't this color beautiful? Look at that. It's hard to see, maybe. I think it's in the shadow there, but it's a brilliant, brilliant pink color. I just think Swiss chard is so ornamental looking. So next I'm going to put my kale out on a paper towel. So with kale, you can actually dehydrate it and make kale chips, which is pretty good. You can also fry it up. You can put it in eggs. Kale is pretty versatile. It's got a pretty strong taste if you've never actually had it before. You just rinse the beans and then leave them in there to dry. There's the Swiss chard. Overall, I'd say we had a pretty awesome harvest today, guys. What do you think? Well, guys, that's my video. If you have any questions about the recipes or anything, message me and I'll try to help you out. If you like what you're watching, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe and comment on YouTube. We'll see you again soon. Bye, guys.